The sunlight is being annoying. Hello internet, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hoo-Lee-Yah Fernandez. I'm a design, fashion, and lifestyle content creator, and today I'm going to be talking to you about probably the most underrated tool in the job hunt process, and that is the coffee chat. Now, the goal of this video is to either help inform you as to what a coffee chat is. Maybe you're new to the job hunting process, maybe you're even new to LinkedIn and have no idea what this term that people keep throwing around is, or you are somebody who has coffee chats lined up and want to learn and understand how to make the most out of them. In addition, I have a surprise for you at the end of this video, so make sure to watch until then because all of the things that I'm talking about are relevant to that surprise. Today, I'm going to be talking about the who, what, where, when, why, and how of coffee chats, as well as the do's and don'ts of coffee chats. And as someone who has been on both sides of the coffee chat, I think it's really important to be sharing my experiences, but also remember, these are things that I've learned from my own experiences in coffee chats. If something doesn't resonate with you, please don't feel like you need to force it into your process. So the first thing is, what the heck is a coffee chat? A coffee chat is also known as an informational interview. It's what people call meetings that usually have to deal with something in the professional world. Maybe their professional journey or their professional experience in a company, all of that jazz. I think it's also a term that people use for one-on-one meetings in order to make it feel more approachable, but still professional. Now on to who. Who needs coffee chats? Who do you set coffee chats up with? Blech. I'm assuming if you're watching this video, it's because you want to have a coffee chat with somebody. And that someone can be a mentor, maybe a prospective mentor, maybe someone that you really look up to in the industry. Perhaps there's a company that you really want to work for and want to hear some insight of what it's like to work there. And you can have coffee chats with other people that are a part of your industry, or even outside of your industry, really. Now, these meetings are called coffee chats, but coffee isn't a really necessary thing that you need in the chat. These coffee chats would ideally be in person. However, because we're going through the apocalypse, most of these are now scheduled through Google Meet or Zoom. In addition to answering where you actually have your coffee chats, where can you actually find people to have coffee chats with? In the beginning of my job search, I actually just had coffee chats with people that I found on LinkedIn and happened to connect to and was curious about their job or their journey. And that's really where I found my mentors and all of that. However, there is this handy dandy site and community called ADPList, which is the Amazing Design People list. And there they actually have a bunch of different professionals willing to give you their time for mentorship or a one-on-one. So I would highly, highly, highly recommend checking ADPList out if you want to get a list of people that have opted into having coffee chats with individuals like yourself. In terms of the actual when to schedule your coffee chat, that is dependent on yourself and the person that you want to have a coffee chat with. Obviously, whenever I usually schedule coffee chats, I provide certain times and I'm mindful if someone has a full-time job, I either ask if they're free during their lunch or after work. Sometimes as well, people are open to having coffee chats during the weekend, but I also try to be mindful and make sure that I am flexible with the times that I'm offering for the person that I'm having a coffee chat with. When is a good time to have a coffee chat? Honestly, anytime. This is kind of dependent on your why. Why would you want to have a coffee chat? One is that it's a huge tool for networking, whether it's getting to know your new coworkers or even just understanding the landscape of the industry. The coffee chats that I've had in the past really have helped me, one, feel like I'm a part of a very supportive community, but also has helped me create connections because usually someone in the coffee chat would actually recommend talking to another person as well in the industry. And really, I've made my friends in the design industry through coffee chats. The second, which is something I already mentioned, is that it is a huge research tool for your job search. So something that I did was when I had like my dream list of companies, I would look for people on LinkedIn that work in those companies and sent them a message, asked them for a coffee chat so that I could learn a little bit more about their work-life balance. Coffee chats helped me make more informed decisions about what company to decide on. And I remember having lots and lots of of coffee chats when I was deciding between the 3 companies for my summer internship. Another reason why I had coffee chats in the past was because I wanted to further understand the best interview practices for someone that works at a certain company. So for example, I had quite a few coffee chats with people from LinkedIn when it came to preparing for and presenting my design challenge. Getting insider insight is really, really helpful because you're able to talk to someone who was in your shoes and perhaps has things that they've learned through their process that they would have wanted to know when they were in your position. Something that I also mentioned before is that I loved using coffee chat as informal portfolio reviews because I was able to gauge the different things that I could improve on from different perspectives. Those are the reasons that were most relevant to me during my job search as to why I would set up these coffee chats, but obviously there are more reasons as to why you would want to set up a coffee chat. All right, now on to the how. I think it's best to understand how to coffee chat by understanding do's and don'ts of coffee chats. So first I'm gonna start with the don'ts. The first don't is don't ask questions that you can answer yourself through some research. And this particular point can be nuanced. Whenever I prep for coffee chats, I always ask myself, can this question be answered by just a simple Google search? If not, then I would definitely use it. If yes, I would say maybe you can rephrase the question to make it relevant to the person that I'm asking. The second don't is don't ask questions that are way too broad. During coffee chats in the past, I've had people ask me things like, how do I stand out? Or how do I succeed? And while those are, in themselves interesting questions to dig deeper into, it doesn't help the person who is doing the coffee chat with you make the most out of their time with you because it's such a broad question. Maybe ask something a little bit more specific. Like, for example, if I'm talking to a manager at a company that I want to work with, I can say, oh, what have you seen in other candidates that have helped them stand out? Because I feel like even though it still covers the same type of topic, it's much more specific and is something that whoever you're talking to can actually speak to, as opposed to answering this like large question about life. The more specific your questions are, the better. At the end of the day, you are there to make the most out of the time that the other person has to help you. So make it easy for them to help you by having very specific questions, very thoughtful questions, and not just questions that are just like thrown around. The third thing is don't put your coffee chatter in an awkward position. While coffee chats are a great way to get insight on what it's like to work with a company, don't force somebody to answer questions that would probably break their NDA or their non-disclosure agreement. And those things include compensation, the current projects they're working on, all of that stuff. I think it's just important to be really mindful and respectful of the company as well as the person themselves. And so don't put your coffee chatter in that position. The second part of the don't make your coffee chatter uncomfortable is don't ask for their work if they do not offer it. So what I mean by that is that I have had coffee chats before where people will literally ask me for the decks that I used in my interviews. And while I understand that people are, trying to use it for maybe reference to create their own deck and don't mean any like malice by it at all, the best way around that, if you are trying to look for sources of inspiration and sources of framework, instead ask them, how did you structure your interview deck? Or are there resources that you use that would be helpful for me to create my own deck? It honestly reminds me of like high school experiences where people just like ask me to be in their group so that I can give them the answers to my quiz, which is not something that you want to make anybody feel, and even if you have the best intentions. Now on to the do's of coffee chats. So do this during your coffee chats. So the first thing is prepare for them. Obviously, you want to make the most out of the time that you have with this person. Know that this person is taking time out of their day to help you. So you want to be able to make sure that you have questions, whether it's notes or particular points you want to go through, or even an agenda to make the most out of your time with them. That's super, super important. The second do is ask thoughtfully and schedule thoughtfully. So something about coffee chats is that it's a pretty common practice nowadays to have coffee chats with somebody, but But when you do ask for a coffee chat, I find that the most appealing invitations that have been sent to me are very specific in what they want to talk about, as well as why they want to talk about it. I think this not only helps me know that this person is being really intentional with the coffee chat that we're gonna have, but also very thoughtful because I know that they want to make the most out of the time with me. Third thing is show self-awareness. And by that, I mean show gratitude, be vocal about being grateful, because at the end of the day, the person that is giving you their time and energy for a coffee chat is doing you a favor. It's not necessarily a favor that you have to return to them, but it is really nice whenever I have a coffee chat with somebody that they also ask like, hey, if there's any way that I can help you as well, let me know. Because I feel like as somebody who is in the other side of the coffee chat, I feel appreciated, and I also feel like the conversation and the relationship is gonna keep going. The last thing that you want to make your coffee chatter feel is make them feel like the coffee chat is merely transactional. I think it's important to really show gratitude and really show that you value their time and their effort that they're giving you. The fourth thing, which is already something that we kind of spoke about by preparing for coffee chats, is be organized and be intentional. So something that I do with my coffee chats is I typically have some kind of app open to take notes. I also tell the person that I might be taking notes to help me remember things during the coffee chat. What I love to do before I start digging into the things that I want to talk about in the coffee chat is just like provide like a general agenda. That way it will also help you know the things that you want to go over, and also just be aware of like the amount of time that you have to go over each subject. The last do that I have is to have a follow-up after your coffee chat. I think it's really important that you show gratitude as well after your coffee chat, because not only is it a way for you to maintain contact with somebody, but again, it's just another form of self-awareness and gratitude that you are showcasing to this person that has helped you out. Now, speaking of helping you out, my surprise for you is a Notion template that I have created specifically for your coffee chats. Now, on this document, I have templates for agendas, templates on asking somebody for a coffee chat, other links that could be helpful for you during your coffee chats, and also just a way to organize your thoughts and organize everything that you need to for your future coffee chats. I feel like I've said the word coffee chat at least 157 times today, but that's okay. So surprise, make sure to go ahead and check the link down below for that template, and I am actually working on other templates for you guys, so let me know. Please give me feedback. I'd love to hear from you all. If you have any questions about coffee chats and like best practices as well, I'm sure I didn't cover everything, so make sure you comment it down below, and I'm going to do my best to get back to you. That is really it, I think, for now, I guess. Thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I can't tell you how much joy I get whenever I hear from you guys on LinkedIn of how you found my YouTube channel. It really, really does bring a smile to my face. Also, share this video with other people that you think might benefit from it. Remember to follow me on social media, and don't be a stranger. Feel free to say hi, and I will most likely say hi back. It might take me some time, but I will get to it, I promise. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next video.